Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Zen Mondays. My name is Stephanie Virchaux, and I help people transform their lives. As simple as that may sound, it could be anything from wanting to go after the big promotion or moving to a new city or going after your goal. Whatever transformation you're seeking, I am here to help you, guide you through it. And Zen Mondays is all about that. It's all about giving you the tips and the tools to help you with your transformation. Hello, Jen, Daphne. What is up, my people? So I am live on Instagram, on Facebook, and I am so excited to be here tonight. Zen Mondays is going to be about half an hour. I have such a juicy topic to talk about, especially for those, well, it really applies to anybody, but I was going to say especially for those living in super expensive cities like New York City. But it's all about money triggers. So hello. So usually I kind of just go off the cuff. I always have like a topic in mind. But today I wrote it all down because it just happened and there's so many things I want to share and I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. So I'm going to talk about money triggers. This started when I purchased last week a grilled cheese and a soup. And the guy came and he's like, all right, ma'am, that's going to be $28. And I was like, what? I didn't say that. I was like, sure, here it is. Internally, I was like, what the? But nevertheless, I paid. It triggered me so much. So I want to share with you guys what I did in order to actually be able to enjoy the food that I purchased instead of getting the worst tummy ache driven by guilt. So we're going to talk about that. I'm making sure my phone is on silent. And then for the second part, the last 10 minutes or so, I'm going to do a live angel card reading. So I did one last week. It was so amazing. And if you're new to angel card readings, if you don't really know what it is, Vero, welcome. Then I'm going to be doing a live angel card reading. I have my deck of cards here that I use. So some of you may know I do angel card readings. And all it is getting in touch with your angels and asking them for guidance. So if there's any particular topic that, and you don't have to share it, you can keep it to yourself. This does not have to be a public affair, but if there's something in mind that you want to talk about or seeking for guidance or clarity, this is your opportunity to ask me. We'll ask your angels and we'll share it. I did it last week live. It was so amazing. So usually I charge $150 for about an hour. Yes, it is a very wanted, coveted service, but here I'm giving it to you guys, no charge, just fun. And I just really want to share that message and share anything the angels want to talk with us about. So let's get started. Okay, hey Mel. So money triggers. So I'm looking at my notes because again, I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. But this subject came to me. So for those of you that are joining, we are starting right about now. So last week, a couple times a week, I usually go to a local coffee shop, and it's those days that are either rainy or snowing, and they're way too comfortable. And I feel like if I stay home, I'm not gonna get a lot of stuff done. So I have a coffee shop that I go to, and I feel like once I'm there and there's people around me and energy, I'm able to knock things out. So I went to the coffee shop last week on a very snowing day, and I was there for about 8 to 9 hours, and towards the afternoon I was starting to get hungry. So I'm looking at the menu, and I'm like, man, that grilled cheese sounds really good. So I'm like, I'm gonna go for it. So I go and I order the grilled cheese, and then the guy behind the counter says, what about a soup? It's kind of cold. I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds really good. Split pea soup, it was vegetarian. Get it, great, order it. He gives me the total and he's like, all right, that's gonna be $28. I'm sorry, come again? Of course I didn't say that because, we have pride and stuff we keep to ourselves. So I was like, okay, I handed my debit card, and internally I literally felt my heart racing. I was like, oh my God, I'm spending $30 on a grilled cheese and a soup. And while I'm making the transaction, he gives me a number to set it on my table. They're gonna come and deliver the food. And while I'm sitting on the table waiting for it, my heart starts like palpitating. I'm starting to, I swear, I started to get anxious. I started to feel like guilt and worry, and it all felt, I mean, I've never been stuck in quicksand, but you know, we've seen plenty of movies or read books. It feels as though these feelings are just like bubbling and coming up, and I'm feeling anxious and worry right down here. If you guys can relate, share the comments. Let me know if this has ever happened to you where you're too embarrassed to say anything, but the other part of you, I'm like, this is nuts. Like, this is nuts. So that's what motivated me, or really inspired me, to share with you what I did in order to release these feelings and figure out like what was the trigger. So ultimately, I've been doing a lot of work this year on inner work, raising my consciousness, raising my awareness. So this much I can share. When these triggers happen, it rarely has anything to do with money. Like, I want to say never, but okay, never. Sometimes it could, but I would say it rarely has anything to do with money. So as I'm sitting there waiting for my grilled cheese, I said, all right, Steph, now that I'm ordering, it's on the way, I want to enjoy it. Because also the other thing is I didn't want to shove, all the food that I ate, and then I didn't want to feel guilty or worry about it, because then I didn't want to get a stomach ache. All these things, right, guys? I mean, all these things. So I had this, I guess it's a journal, a notebook. I always carry it with me. So I said, between the time the food gets here, I want to clear this shit so I can enjoy my $30 meal. I mean, why not? I have dreams of being a millionaire. I have dreams of meeting Oprah, right? So it may be 30 today, it might be 300 tomorrow. It might be a $3,000 lunch in a month, and I want to feel comfortable just being like, bam, spending it, and maybe drinks on me on the house. How cool would that be? But if I keep thinking about, you know, if it keeps triggering me for 30 bucks, it ain't gonna happen, girl. So I got down and dirty to business. So let me share with you guys what I did to work through my trigger. I discovered what it was. So you can do the same next time you get a trigger, even if you can't do it right then and there. Go home, work it out. Okay, so step number one, again, I wrote it all down because I want to make sure I didn't forget everything I did. But step number one is to acknowledge. So you want to acknowledge the feelings, the emotion, the trigger. So a lot of times when that happens to us and we spend it, we kind of end up sometimes shaming ourselves for feeling that way. Like, oh, now I'm so cheap because I can't afford 30 bucks, or, oh my God, other people, or whatever feelings come up, we end up shaming ourselves and shoving them under the rug, or whatever the saying is. But you know what I mean? We end up just pretending it's not there and not acknowledging them, and that doesn't help. So when you're triggered, whether it's money, like I'm doing it directly with money, but this can be a trigger that your boss yelled at you, you're gonna fight with your husband or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. This could be any kind of trigger. Acknowledge that it's there. So in my case, it was, so I wrote in my journal, literally I could show you guys, I have like 7 pages of everything I wrote. So I'm gonna walk you through it. Acknowledge it. So for me, it was, I spent 30 bucks on this lunch. It brought me so much anxiety. I put in, spending 30 bucks threw me out of alignment. Because when I'm in the flow, I felt good. So I was there already at the coffee shop for about 5 hours. I was feeling good. I was feeling productive. I was on it. So as soon as I spent those 30 bucks on the grilled cheese and the soup, it threw me out of alignment. And all that means is that I didn't feel connected anymore. I felt that the fear creeped up, and I was feeling shitty and guilty and anxious and worried. So as soon as you feel any of those feelings, that's a sign that you've disconnected yourself from the universe. So step number one, acknowledge that you're anxious. We're humans. Anxiousness happens. So again, don't ignore, but acknowledge. Number two, list out the feelings that are coming up for you when you're triggered. So in the situation when you get triggered again, what feelings are coming up for you? In my situation that I'll share with you for the rest of these steps, it was about buying a $30 grilled cheese and a split pea soup. So my triggers I wrote down was guilt and worry about spending money. And then immediately when I realized it was guilt and worry, I realized those were ego-driven. So this is super important. When I talk about ego-driven, I mean ego out of fear. So at any given time throughout the day, we have all these feelings, all these emotions, but all that it boils down to, if you were to peel all these feelings, you're either in alignment, which is love. You're connected to love, whether it's God, the universe, spirit, something greater than you. You're connected to love, and that means you are selfless, you are given, you are joyful, you're excited. Any of those feelings that you're like, yeah, I'm feeling good. All of that is love, number one. Number two is fear. Ego is fear. So anytime that's fear, that's worry, anxious, shame, anxiety, nervousness, as soon as I start mentioning that, if any of you guys can feel it in your body, let me know. But any of those feelings, you kind of start like, oh my God, I'm nervous, I'm anxious, I don't have the money, I'm selfish, I'm judgmental. Any of that stuff is fear driven. So I want to make sure that we distinguish those two types. It's either love or fear. When I talk about ego, again, it's fear driven. So in step number two, we're listing out the emotions that came with your trigger. Usually these emotions are ego driven. Hello, Nat. Welcome, welcome. So when you list out all of the emotions, for me, again, when I spent the $30 on the grilled cheese and the soup, my emotions were guilt, worry, and anxiety. So I wrote them out in my journal, this is what I used last week. So step number two. Number three, as you're writing everything, in that moment where you're feeling anxious, it's still going to feel like I feel everything on my stomach right here in my gut. Like when I feel it here is when I feel uncomfortable. So step number three, as you're writing all of these emotions and you're thinking about it, you still might be anxious. But this is the key. In step number three, you guys, is where you're going to start to shift it. So as you're writing everything down, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I just spent $30 on a grilled cheese and a soup. I'm feeling so anxious. This is so much money. What am I thinking? Da, 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 da. Continue to breathe through it. Because I'm reading this book, which I absolutely love. It's called The Big Leap. But in The Big Leap, I remember when I was feeling anxious. The author, if you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. But the author, he says, fear and excitement, they come, let me read it exactly. He says, the same mechanisms that produce excitement also produce fear. And fear can therefore be transformed to excitement through your breath. So let me say that again. When you're excited and you're feeling butterflies and you're like, oh my God, let's say you're going on a first date, right? And you're so excited and you have a ton of butterflies, that's excitement, right? Now, let's say you are coming home late at night, the taxi drops you off a block away from your apartment and you're scared to walk home because it's late and you're by yourself. You're still feeling those butterflies. You're still going to feel the same kind of things that excitement will produce. Fear and excitement have the same mechanisms. The only way to turn fear into excitement is through breathing. So if we go back to the steps that I was sharing with you guys on how I changed my anxiety and my worry, which were all fear-driven, when I spent the $30 on the grilled cheese and the soup, as I was writing my fears of anxiousness, I kept breathing. And as I was breathing, I was like, all right, Steph, I know you're worried. I know you're fearful. I know you're anxious. Just keep breathing. Just keep breathing and keep breathing. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. So step three, write it out, all the feelings that come from it. Step four, and this can be the hardest, but we got this. We got this, my friend. Step four, you surrender. Surrender, I feel sometimes it's such an overused word. One, and two, it's such a word that our society, when we surrender, it sounds like there's a little shame behind it. Like, I'm surrendering, I'm letting it go, I'm just letting it be, which is so counterintuitive from our society that constantly tell us, do it, do not give up, keep going, don't stop until you're done. Can anybody relate to that? Give me some hearts. I want to know if you guys can relate to that. Because if our society keeps telling us, don't quit until you reach your success or whatever, and then we tell each other, oh, surrender. We're like, surrender is for babies. Like, I don't want to surrender. I want to push until I make it happen. telling you right now, okay, I see the hearts. That's a good sign. I'm telling you guys right now, the best thing you can do for yourself today is to start reprogramming your brain to say that's not true. The harder you work doesn't mean the more results you're going to get. I promise you, and I can do a whole new episode on this. I don't want to deviate. But let me tell you, step number 4, you surrender. So this is how it was for me. Surrender is not to give up. It's not to pretend that you can't do it. It's not to forget about it. Surrender is to acknowledge, I'm feeling anxious as shit right now. I'm stressing out, and I surrender because I acknowledge that these feelings are real for me. You're not ignoring them. You're not shoving them under the rug. You're not taking another shot if you're at the bar and you spend $20 on a martini, which happens. No, you can, you can go to the bathroom and be like, I surrender because I'm acknowledging that I'm stressed out. I surrender because I acknowledge that I'm anxious. I surrender because I acknowledge my emotions. So all surrender it is acknowledging. Try this. I hope you try this. When you get anxious tomorrow, I'm assuming, surrender by acknowledging the feelings. As soon as you acknowledge that you're anxious and you're stressed and you're worried, literally it's as if like if you have a balloon and then you have a thing and you pop it, you pop a balloon. Surrendering is like you're popping a balloon on your emotions. Instead of resisting them, instead of telling yourself, I shouldn't feel this way. Oh my God, what am I thinking? I shouldn't be anxious. I shouldn't be worried. I shouldn't be stressed. When you surrender, you're like, you know what? I am. It sucks, but I am. Or I just am. And as soon as you surrender, the emotions can flow through you. When emotions flow through you, you immediately feel better and you get to the other side. So for me, I surrendered and I said, okay, so again, surrendering, my last set of notes, don't pretend it's not here, but acknowledge that as soon as you acknowledge your feelings, you're transforming them. And you're saying, fear, ego, I'm good, but I'm not going to follow your anxiety and your worries anymore. I choose love. I choose to transform. So when I continued breathing, then in that moment you ask yourself, okay, this triggered me. This caused a reaction. Second thing I learned from the book I want to share with you guys. Then the author, which is so true, ask yourself, what positive thing is trying to come out into being? This is a big one. So in my moment, I was triggered by spending $30 on the soup and the grilled cheese. I wrote my feelings, I wrote my anxiety, I surrender, I acknowledge them. And then I asked myself, what positive thing is trying to come out? Again, I believe the world and everything that happens, it happens for me, not to me. So if I was thinking this is happening to me, I could be like, I cannot believe that I found the most expensive coffee shop that serves $30 grilled cheese and soups. Of course, I'm always going to find the most expensive thing that I can't afford. Right? That's when you think everything happening to you. But if I think, you know what? I just spent $30 on a grilled cheese. Why is this happening for me? What positive thing could be coming out of this? Ta-da! And this is what I got, you guys. Step number 5. I got my clear answers. Whew. And this is the part that is more vulnerable and it's probably a little harder to share. But this is the part that I feel as though the message that hopefully will help you guys. So for me is I felt that I didn't earn my lunch. I didn't deserve to have a $30 lunch because I had over 10 years of practice in the world, in corporate America, that unless I work hard, I don't deserve it. That whole morning, I was on a beautiful coffee shop. I was working, granted, but it wasn't hard. I was sitting in this beautiful place, drinking a chai latte and a grilled cheese. And granted, I was doing work as a business owner, but it was easy because I was in the flow. So as soon as I spent that money, that $30 on the soup and the sandwich, it didn't feel like I worked hard, which is nuts. So as soon as I realized, wait, what? So I asked myself, which is step number 6. You have the thought, so my limiting belief was, I don't deserve this because I haven't earned this. I haven't worked hard enough. I don't deserve this. I should be working hard to earn a $30 grilled cheese. So that was step number 5, right? Step number 6, you dismantle that thought. So I wrote down, I need to work hard, and I can find it here. But basically something on the lines of like, okay, what type of hard work would make me feel like I deserve this sandwich? What type of work would make me feel like I deserve to spend $30 on a grilled cheese and on a soup? As soon as I started writing, my smile started transforming. When you start smiling, that's a sure sign that you've connected back into love and you're not in the fear mode anymore. Because then I started laughing and I'm like, okay, so what would I deserve to spend $30 on a grilled cheese? Like, I need to, I don't know, start cleaning the bathrooms or start, giving stuff for free. Like when I started thinking how crazy that thought was, I said, ego, I got you. You're not going to call me, you're not going to make me feel bad because of a $30 lunch that I absolutely deserve. So that was step 6. We're almost done. We have 3 more to go. So step 6, you dismantle. Step 7, I started listing, and this is beautiful miracle. You start listing all the reasons why you deserve, in my case, a $30 grilled cheese and soup. And this was probably like 3 pages. This is my diary from last week. This was 3 pages that I wrote down why I deserve it. I deserve it because I do, because it's nourishing food. I deserve it because I work from my heart. I deserve it because I'm a child of God. I believe in the universe. It was on and on and on. It was a rampage on why I deserved a $30 soup and a $30 grilled cheese. So I started to shift my emotions. So do you guys remember earlier how I said the step about how you write down all the emotions out of fear? It was like anxious and worry and guilt and all that stuff. This is where you start shifting it. And you start transforming your emotions on connecting with love. So for me, it was I called my angels and I called the universe because there was still a little bit of fear in me. So in that moment when I was transforming my emotions, yes, this is in the middle of a coffee shop in New York City. In my head, I was like, all right, angels, God, universe, I am about to shift. I am about to transform. Hold my space. Hold my space, hold my thoughts, hold my emotions. I am willing and determined to shift my emotions from fear to love, and I need your help. We're not alone. We're never alone. But you need to call it out. You need to ask because we are free. We live on free will. So if you don't call and ask for assistance, they're going to be right around you, but they're not going to be able to do anything. So I said, all right, let's get to work. So I shifted and I started to feel high as my waitress comes and delivers my $30 grilled cheese and soup. Thankfully, I started to feel better, but I didn't take a bite because I wanted to completely shift it before I enjoyed my $30 grilled cheese and soup. So step number 8. This is when I realized that the $30 lunch had nothing to do with the money, but it had everything to do with me feeling that I didn't deserve it and I hadn't earned it. And I know that you guys are asking like, oh my God, Steph, how did you come to every realization? But every single step that you take, it'll give you an answer that you'll start realizing. The most important thing is don't get scared by the emotions at the beginning and you completely avoid the rest of the work. When you get that contrast, when you get that triggered, get yourself to work. So in step number 8, I realized and I said, oh my God, this was never again to do with the $30 I just spent. This was about me feeling, or a part of me, not anymore, a part of me feeling that I hadn't worked hard for it, bullshit, and I didn't deserve it, second bullshit. So I called myself out and I said, this is absolutely ridiculous. You absolutely deserve it. Because again, today's $30 on lunch, I want to become a millionaire right here, right now. So tomorrow is going to be $300. Maybe in a month, I'm going to be buying Oprah a $3,000 breakfast. If I feel guilty about $30, how, like, it's going to be impossible for me to be able to not feel guilty for $3,000. So again, it's never to do with the money. It's about to do how you feel about it. So I realized, and then I rewrote my new belief, which I'm going to share with you guys. So this is the last step. You rewrite your new belief. After this, I'm going to share with you guys, and then let's do some angel card readings. But, so this is my new belief. If you can see it here, new belief. I said, today I replace the old belief that I need to work hard to earn or spend $30 on a lunch, food, or anything of that matter. So my new belief said, I am deserving and worthy of all the amazing food, nurturing meals, luxuries, and wonderful things that the world has to offer. I easily receive with grace and ease the beautiful treasures that the universe has in store for me with joyful excitement, and so it is. Isn't it so good? So when you write your new belief, you might immediately just feel it and shift it. It might take you a couple days. I've been reading this new belief every day for the last 5 days since I spent those $30 on the grilled cheese and the soup, but I read it every day. And then you start embodying it, and I'm like, yes, right, Diana? Woo! So it's like, I deserve all the nurturing food. The grilled cheese, by the way, came from some, upstate New York, Gruyere, and whatever organic stuff that I love, and some bread that I can't pronounce, but it was delicious. Why can't we just have $30 grilled cheese? I mean, right? So anyways, I hope you guys, this helped you, this served you. I'm going to write a blog about it. Let me know if you think it'll be helpful so you can follow the steps. If you're watching on Instagram, this is going to be live for 24 hours. But if you follow me on my Facebook group, then you can check it out anytime. And it's going to be on YouTube as well. So any questions that came up for you guys from this crazy, amazing breakthrough that a $30 grilled cheese brought into my life? Let me know if any questions come through. And while I give you some time, for those of you that just joined or have been around, I'm going to do a live angel card reading. So this shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. I know we're going to go a little past 8 o'clock, but love it. Now I want a grilled cheese. I don't blame you, Mel. It was so good and so worth it when it came from a place of love. Like once I ate the grilled cheese, I was like, like this is some good grilled cheese. It wasn't anxious driven. It was the best. Is anybody volunteering to do an angel card reading? So the way it's going to work, let me know if you do. Anybody, either Instagram or Facebook, whoever says me first, I will pick them. I will pick a card. And if you're looking for clarity, if you're seeking for guidance, if you're feeling anxious about something, your angels are going to come through and deliver a message, and it's going to be so beautiful. Yay, Daphne! All right, my girl, so good. So I hope you guys stay. This is really good. So Daphne is on Instagram. So, Jen. Okay, Jen, I will do you this week. I promise you. I will do you this week, and we'll share it. And Diana, this is so amazing. Okay, so Daphne, tell me, okay, you don't have to tell me, but do you feel comfortable telling me what this is all about? One, if you guys are live, stay through. I will share the message and we will talk it through. One. Number two, do you give me permission to tap into your energy and tap into your angels? So as Daphne's typing, okay, so Jen and Diana, I'm going to do you guys because this is going to be so good. Daphne. Okay, so as she's typing, this is the deck of cards. I'm going to pick one card. Yes and yes. All right, Daph. So, what is something, think about it through. While you think it, I'm going to pull a card. So I just need a quick second so I can tap into your angels, and then feel free to type whatever's on your mind. And if not, once I share the message, you can share whatever you feel comfortable. So just give me 1 second, you guys. Beautiful. Okay. Let me pull a card. Okay, so for those of you that are on Facebook, Daphne's question is, any clarity? Can we see if the angels have any messages regarding my career? Absolutely. This is so interesting. Okay, so the card you got, it's past life issue. I will share it with you guys too. So beautiful. Okay, so this is really interesting because we might be able to do a little bit more after, but this is your angels letting you know that the situation that you're in right now, so I'm not sure all the details of it, but the situation that you're in right now, I guess I'm assuming with your career, it has something to do with releasing and healing from your past life. So, do you believe in reincarnation? Does anybody for that matter? I'm a firm believer in reincarnation. But hi everybody that's joining. I am doing a live angel card reading with Daphne in Instagram. So let me know. Yes. Okay. So this is what I would recommend because, so Daphne had a question for those of you on Facebook about her career. So she's going through some transition in her career and she wants to know if her angels have any messages regarding her career. So the message that came through is to say your angels, Daph, want to let you know that the situation that you're going through right now is directly connected to a situation in a past life. So they're asking you to ask them, because remember, as human beings, we work on free will. So as much as we have guidance from our guardian angels and our angels, they cannot provide the guidance unless you say, yes, please help me. So through this message, they're asking you to ask them how you can release, heal, and forgive a past experience that is currently affecting your current situation with your career. How does that sound? How does that feel? Have you done any of that work? As she's typing. So a lot of times when it comes to this, and this one specifically, as we hear back from Daphne, a great exercise to do is to journal, because a lot of times we're in our conscious mind and that's all about practical reality, what's happening right now. So in those moments, we're going to be like, well, how is my career situation has anything to do with what's going on in the past? But if we dedicate 10 minutes when we wake up in the morning where our mind hasn't fully, before we scroll on Instagram and Facebook, before your mind goes into the consciousness, then we can say, okay, how, angels, please help me, guide me. What do I need to heal in order to release anything that I haven't healed from a past life that keeps coming up? Because remember, in a past life, if we didn't heal certain things, we come back into this life with the same situations we have to heal. Because we came back as a new person doesn't mean that certain situations are not going to come back. They're going to keep coming back because it's just a lesson of growth. So, Daph, yes. Okay. So how about you let me know, and as a coach, because I do, a little bit of both, but can I have your accountability to sometime this week between Monday and Sunday for you to really take time, about 10 minutes, and ask your angels, what do you need to release and heal from a past life that's potentially, yes, that's potentially affecting currently in your career? Yes, Fran, we absolutely have to learn the lesson and move forward. So yes, and this, okay, so I have a question from Alyssa. What's up, lady? Does this apply to everyone or you have to pull the card? So two things. This one, Daphne raised her hand and I was able to connect with her energy and she allowed me to connect with her angels. So this card was in specific to her question. But if anybody that's listening and they feel as though you get a tug or a pull from your gut, from your intuition, and you're like, wow, this feels like I could do that work, absolutely do the same work. Because as I was tapping into Daphne's angels, I also called upon Archangel Michael and the angels that are live, everybody that was listening. So this message could very much apply to more than one person. So Alyssa, I hope this answers your question. But if there's anybody here that heard this message and they feel as though there's some conflict in their life that could potentially relate to a past life, then get out your journal and say, angels, I'm going through blank. In the case of Daphne, angels, I'm going through a tough situation at work. How can I heal and release any past life challenges in order to heal and move through what I'm going through right now? Put your timer for 10 minutes and write it, automatic writing. Hi sis, I love you. So Def, are we good? So you're committed to do that before Sunday. Okay, I would love, text me. Okay, so she just wrote, the job that I just left had a very negative effect on me. This is definitely spot on. So good. I love you. I know you have my number, so text me. I love to hear how it went. For all of you that are live with me, if you want to do this exercise, please come say hi. I have a Facebook group that's all about crystals and angels and awareness and consciousness. So you can, it's a private group, so it'll be a safe space for all of us. Come ask to join and let's share our experiences. Card reading for me, first time. Hi, Natalie, I don't know you. Hello. I love you, Daphne. I'm so glad it helped. So I am only doing one card this week, but I've had such great feedback that what day is Monday? I'm gonna be live, let's say Wednesday. I'll be live on Wednesday to pull more cards. So come back live. I'll be live on Wednesday, probably around 9:30. I'm teaching a psychic class at 7. So I'll be live around 9:30. So for all of you that want to do more, I'll pick one person on Wednesday. I will do another angel card reading. And also come to my Facebook group. I would love to get in touch with you guys. I do more readings there. Just search me. It's Stephanie Virchaux and it's a Facebook group. I think it's called All About Crystals, Empowerment, something along those lines. But it's a private group and we can do this so much more often. So I love you guys. Hi sis, I am saying hi. I'm one of 5 for those of you that don't know. And my family and I are like this. And my sister just came on and she's like, say hi to me. And I did. I love you guys. If you loved this Zen Mondays, come live. I'm live every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I always talk about a topic. Today was about a money trigger. How I got triggered by spending $30 on a grilled cheese and soup in the Upper East Side, Alyssa, by the way. I know you're right around here. And how I worked through my triggers, how I created a new belief, and I also did an angel card reading. So if you guys love this, share with your friends. It'll be, love you, friend. Mwah. It'll be live on Instagram for 24 hours, and it'll be live on my safe Facebook group forever and my YouTube group. So come join, come say hi, have an awesome week, stay in touch, and let's do some dancing. Right? Why do I dance? Oh my God, the song is Millionaire. That's right. Hey, Fletcher, he's so cute. I want to see you. It's my Millionaire song, which now moved. Okay, this is all a hot mess. It was my Millionaire song, so I'm going to take it as a trigger. I love you guys. See you next week. Zen Mondays live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Have a good week, you guys. See you soon. Love you. Bye-bye. Oh, so cute, Alyssa. See you soon. I want to see you. Mwah. Have a good week. Love you guys.